This episode of JJ's Workshop. Today might be a little bit of an irrelevant project, but today I'm building my new water tower for my Blue Barrel. And my Blue Barrel collects rainwater and supplies water to my garden to help cut down on water cost. So today I will be covering how I build this, and it's quite a simple project, and I hope you enjoy it. What I have here is some decking boards. I bought them 8 feet long. They're treated, and this week they happen to be on sale for about $3.29 a piece. So I bought 6 of them, which is a bit overkill, but it's green, so I don't have to really worry about it rotting. I'm going to be covering it anyways with some Pittsburgh weather screen solid color cedar, same color as my tiki bar I built, and we'll see how good I can get it to match up. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I've flushed up one side and I measured out the thickness of these boards, and they're actually just a thick deck board at 1 1/8 inches thick. They're about 5.5 wide. What I did was I cut 5 of these boards at 3 foot, remeasured. My Blue Barrel's about 23.5 inches. So I got about 28 here, 3 foot going the other way. So I figured I got enough space. I used these as counterweights because my workspace is not the best idea that I've had yet. But I want to do work outside, and I tried using the sawhorses, and they're just not wide enough to do this project. So what I'm using is decking screws, the triple coated gold deck screws that are number 9s, and they are 2 inches square head. So what I'm doing is I'm keeping these flushed up together, keep them flat, and I am driving these screws in about 1/4 of an inch just to kind of give them a little bit more protection. But these screws are also guaranteed for life, they say, so but it's coming together nicely. So what I did was I left an overhang on this side. That way there I can actually butt the next piece going in, so they're not really going to be just flush with the sides, but they're going to overlap each other a little bit, add a little more stability. Okay, so I wrapped up the sides, and it turned out beautiful, actually. Little note to self, and I'll be completely honest here, and whoever says I don't have a sense of humor, don't really know what they're talking about. But when you're working with this stuff, I highly recommend wearing gloves. For me, it's a bit too late. But green treated, if you smell your hands, it smelled like you wiped and you didn't wash your hands. So, with that being said, note to self for next time, and anybody else who's watching this video that's going to be working with treated wood, especially decking like this, wear some gloves. It stinks. Anyways, the two short sides, I ended up overlapping my 1.1 inch, button it up to the one side, and those ended up at 29.5, and the longer sides here ended up at 37.25. So they overlapped perfectly. Great frame. And now what we're going to do is we're going to flip this over and add some 2-bys, some little like mini joists going this way across, just to kind of give it a little bit more stability. I was Googling it, and water in a 55-gallon drum weighs about 400 and some change pounds. So we want to make sure we build this really well. I had it up on a skid before with a few 2x4s, and just the weather and everything, it did not hold up very well. It did not fall, but it started getting pretty cattywampus, so I decided it was time to invest a little bit of money into something that's more permanent. Our first 2x4 joist is going to be 28 and a heavy quarter. I'm going to put 2 screws into the 2x4 on each side, suck them in a little bit, make sure that they're good and solid. What this is doing is it's going to make it so our floor here can handle a little bit more stress. So I'm going to get that other 2x4 in. Now what I did here was I went 8 inches from side to side. I did the same down here. Then what I did from this edge, since I had a little bit more than I was hoping for, I had to go 7 3/4 from this end to this end, and I did that on both, so these joists are running perfectly straight. But as you can see, we're going to have a really good solid weight bearing water deck, I guess you could call it, or I always call it the water tower. So next we're going to figure out our length for our legs, and then how we are going to keep them good and stable. Okay, so now the bottom is all done. The stain is awesome stuff. Now it doesn't take too long to dry, especially if there's a little bit of wind out, so I'll probably give this about another hour, flip it over and do the top side. Now I have the braces around the legs. I wanted to make a note that I cut the legs at 28 inches. I didn't want it too high, I didn't want it too low. But as you can see, I overlapped the 2-bys. There's a little bit of warpage there, probably from the free 4x4s, but I can't complain about free. So this is a really good solid. There's no wiggle other than in my sawhorses, so it's good and solid. So hopefully when I get done eating, I can get enough strength to flip this bad boy over and do the top. And then tomorrow I'll put the barrel on it and hook everything up, and we should get some rainfall, matter of a couple of days, I believe, so I can prime my system and try it out. Alright, so here's the top. I just finished it. And this stuff dries pretty quick. It's already starting to dry on the top pretty quick, but I'm going to let it set overnight, and in the morning I'm going to move it into position, set the barrel up, and start collecting rainwater here soon. So I wanted to thank you again for watching JJ's Workshop. Can't wait to show you other products that I make, share some new designs and unique and traditional ideas. Thanks for watching JJ's Workshop. I'll see you next time.